Hey guys, how are you doing? Good morning. This is Kaylana, and thank you for stopping by my channel. I wanted to share with you guys today about some ways that I've been earning some extra income with food delivery. Now, I know I've been doing this for a very long time, but to me, this is like a rediscovery of being consistent and me earning money on these platforms. Now, as far as food delivery, I kind of alternate between which days and which apps that I choose to use based upon how lucrative they are. I discovered that starting a shift or starting working in the mornings can be very beneficial. Believe it or not, you'd be surprised how many people order breakfast. And I know some cities may be a lot busier than others. I mean, I'm in Orlando, so it can kind of be hit or miss. A lot of people really aren't out too much in the mornings. And I'm sure after I say this, of course, everybody's going to hop out in the morning, but it also depends on where you are. So it varies upon zone and it varies upon your area. So yesterday, between Uber Eats and DoorDash, I made about $162, I think. But my thing is I work longer hours. It depends on the person. It depends on what app you're using. It may not always be like that, but it's good to do multiple apps. However, there are some people that can actually do that amount on just one app. Like, I know I've seen people that can do like $100 something or $200 something just by DoorDash alone, or just by Uber Eats alone, or Grubhub. But I was quite surprised. I did pretty good and I was consistent. It wasn't like I had a lot of downtime, because typically with food delivery, there is downtime. And so you might be busy maybe for like an hour or two, and then it'll slow down and you hop back on, and then it'll be busy and then it slows back down. But for some reason, it was just consistently busy. And I know sometimes summers might be a little bit slower because the kids are out or people are on vacation, etc. But I am in a tourist state. Like, I live in Orlando, so it's like a lot of tourism here. Here's something that I do, guys, and you don't necessarily have to do this, but for me, this actually worked. Because I have a system that I like to use. It actually helps me stay within the budget. And when I set goals on the amount of money that I want to make per day or per week, this is really useful. So that way I won't, spend frivolously, or I won't just be blowing my money or just be out there just driving for nothing. Okay, this is what I do. I was going to type this up, a cover, but this is like, I call it field operations, but I use a template, and I created this on Microsoft Word, and you can use any office software that you want to use. And also I have loose leaf notebook paper in there that I use just to write notes and to keep track of my gas and stuff. And I'm sure there's probably apps out there that probably can do this, but I like to write. And so, but this is what I've been doing so far. But you guys can see here, it says weekly, daily logistics earnings, but like logistics is basically like transport, but that's just what I call it. I'm just making something up. And here I have the week to date or the week of. And so sometimes I might do like Monday through Sunday or Monday through Monday. It depends on whatever I choose. I don't have my nails done. You guys can see here date, which is the date that I'm doing the delivery, the total deliveries, the hours, and at the time that I started and the time that I ended, and how many hours I worked total on that particular app. It says the amount earned, and then for gas. And so I always have like a surplus that I keep aside just specifically for gas, so I don't mix that in with what I'm doing on my delivery. This is just for the entire week typically, and how I want to do that. Basically what I do is the earnings needed this week, so that's how much money I need to earn for the week. It's the amount of money that I need to make for the entire week. And then the earnings I need per day is basically how much I need to make per day in order to get to that amount that I need for the week. And then the total days that I will work. So that means that how many days that I choose to work in order to get that amount that I need for the week, okay? So if it's 5 days, if it's 6 days, if it's 3 days, whatever. And then the total hours per day, so how many hours I'm willing to put in per day to get those total amounts, okay? And then the dates that I choose to work, And so this is basically the daily logistics, and I put in, now this is for each day. So every day I have one of these, and you can see like the little total amount that I made for the entire day. So basically it shows here the platform that I use. I have Uber Eats, DoorDash, Postmates, and then other. And it could be like Grubhub, it could be Amazon Flex, the deliveries. So what I do is I put like a tick mark and the hours that I worked, etc., the total deliveries, and the amount that I earned for each platform. And then here in the yellow, I would put how much I earned all together. And I started early this morning, because sometimes I might start at like 6:30 in the morning. Sometimes I might start at 7 a.m., maybe 7:30. But I say that the later you get, the less amount of money you can make. But it depends on your area, so this might not pertain to everybody. And yesterday, I was like busy all day. And I might take a break, but usually I just keep going. And yesterday, I won't lie, I was exhausted, but I worked a lot. Now, I didn't necessarily work this many hours. I did this as an example. And so this is how much I made yesterday and how many deliveries I did, et cetera, et cetera. So yesterday I did like a total of 20 because I had a lot of long wait times. I had to wait like a long time for some of them. One order I had to wait like 30 minutes. I'm in various areas, guys, so I don't always just stay in one particular area, but I'm always around. Sometimes I could put like a hindrance on how much you earn if you got to wait at a restaurant for a very long time. And I know most drivers, they would leave after like 10 minutes, especially if the order could be like $7 or $8 or maybe $6 or $5. But sometimes with Uber Eats, you don't know. And that's one thing about Uber Eats, especially if you have to drive like a longer distance, they'll pay you a little bit extra. But I'm keeping an eye on that because I'm starting to notice that they'll say you'll earn at least $15 for driving out this way. But then you look and you only get like 10. And I'm starting to notice they're not paying you what they're saying that they are. And I will talk about that in a different vlog, but please remind me about that because sometimes I'll forget. So yeah, guys, that's kind of how I do it. And I keep a log of everything so I can keep track of how much my earnings are, so I can stay within my budget to save for my bills or whatever. And gas, of course, is separate. And so there are other things that I do for other income that I use for my gas or for whatever things that I need to keep my car running. And that's kind of how I do it. So I'm thinking if I made $150 a day and I work 5 days a week, that's not too bad. That's like what, 6 something a week. Mornings are pretty good. And it may not be like that all the time, but you have to be willing and have enough faith to step out and do it and try it and see how it works. So just pay attention to your zone, and just kind of get out there and drive around and experiment with different areas. You might find one area that may be far from where you live, but it's always busy. So just try different apps and see how it works, and do it over a period of time. But DoorDash and Uber Eats are probably like my main ones. So with that being said, thank you so much, guys, for stopping by. I have a lot more stuff to share with you. I cannot wait to share, guys. But just be patient because I'm still going through the motions of some stuff, and I got projects on the table that is like mounting up. If you have any questions or comments or whatever, just leave them down there below and shoot me an email if you have any questions. God bless you guys. Have a wonderful day.